Gonna do some boxing basics. So all of you guys, when you come here to the live stream, gonna have an opportunity to ask certain questions regarding boxing and combinations, certain drills, whatever is working, whatever is the topic of your interest. I can see clearly that even though I try to hide the blue eye, it's still flashing out a little bit. Hi. Hi, Alfie. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, anyways, I have boxing back here, I have gloves, always a shadow boxing, anywhere. And yeah, good day to you too. I also have some water here. So let's wait a little bit more people coming in and we shall start. So I have a Reebok boxing gloves. Those are, well, actually this is my gift to my husband, and I picked 12 ounces. So both of us could use them. For me, 10 ounces are perfect, but I still can train with 12. Well, thank you, but I have a husband, so if I meet with someone, we can meet all together. Philippines is far, yes, I know. It's quite far from Georgia. But anyways, I'll do a little bit of shadow boxing for the warm-up. So it's, you know, just something slow. Doesn't have to be active all the time. Last time I had the sparring last Saturday, last Saturday. So, pardon me, it was Monday this week, and I'm going to try to go back to that gym next Monday from next week. And there are certain things that I worked through there. Okay, hold up. Thank you, I'm proud of you too. So the point is, I always try to learn after a specific sparring, after the situation where I'm put and held under the pressure of the real sparring. And one thing that I found out when I worked with that girl who is taller than me, longer reach, works very well with the distance control, can be offensive, especially after her coach was like, oh, you're not doing anything. So because she's quite young, she's like 15, 16 years old, she got emotional, so she came on the aggressive offense. And here is the thing, I was backing off, I was getting a lot of punches on my head. So good thing that I already worked on, I use my hands as a defense quite efficiently. But the one thing I noticed is I was backing off and quite a lot. And then like after first couple steps, when you start leaning backwards, which is technically is not the best thing to do because it drops you in a very defensive position. She would land couple punches there. So I noticed that a counter thing to that, to fix that issue, is someone comes on you on offense and you back off, but once they come to you closer, me as a shorter boxer actually wants to use that as my advantage. So I can just meet them after following them against their offense. I do a couple steps back, I get in, maybe in a clinch, and then just land like a 3 punches right from there. So it's like a good momentum of locking that distance, if you know what I mean, right? Anyways, that was just one of the observations that I had from the previous sparring, and as I said, I'm gonna try to implement it in the next one. But yeah, feel free to ask questions, guys. Hey, champ. Hi. Salt puppy. Salt puppy. Well, for a YouTuber, I would say he's actually doing quite well. So, well, me as another YouTuber speaking, though I've been doing boxing way longer than YouTube, generally. So, but anyways, guys, it's a boxing basics. Feel free to ask questions. You want to try to work on the distance control. You want to learn how to throw correct punches, which combinations are the efficiently the working ones, you know, all that kind of stuff. So feel free to. He lost the fight. He's a Filipino guy. Oh, he's from Philippines. Cool. Yeah, he lost against Tony Ferguson. That was the last fight, right? Where are you from? I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi. If you know Mirab and Elia Topuria, some other Georgians from other sports, you shall know them. Okay, just 1 second. Tie up my hair. So it's not a training now. It's a Saturday, Sunday. I decided to take a time off today, but still gonna throw some combos just just to show you. Soviet style boxing, yeah, definitely Georgian style definitely has an imprint of the Soviet style, like all post-Soviet countries. But I would say, like, it's a little bit different comparing. It depends on the boxer, but if you take Kazakhstan, for example, and they're like you know, they're just bam, 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 like this is kind of how they do that. I don't think boxing style is that bouncy. There are some boxers who do that indeed, especially in the lighter weights, but I think it's not that much of the bouncing, but it still has like like that kind of cutting in, cutting out. The problem, what I find with the Soviet style is it really works for the taller boxers, but it's not, like, it never worked perfectly for me. I learned how to use, like, you know, jab, and, you know, kind of like always bounce in, pivot in. But at the same time, I would frequently get countered by a slightly taller, slightly longer reach boxer. So when it comes to the Soviet style, I don't think it is very optimal for someone who is shorter in a specific weight class. That's why, for me personally, I still try to be light on my feet, but I keep my hands up. So I do punch, I do reflection, I do pump, like, so you see, I don't just throw the jab, not just like this, but I do, so, boom. I catch their jab and kind of push it in, like, boom, like, boom, boom, boom. You know, easy on my feet, but at the same time, not really bouncing too much. Also, if we take a pro boxing as the pace of the pro boxing versus amateur boxing, slightly different. Okay. Oh, we met a few Georgians on Erasmus in Italy last year. Great people. Oh, that's great. Well, hi to you. We Georgians love Italy. Is perhaps your neighbor? Well, he's not neighbor for sure, but I know we have so many acquaintances in Georgia, because Georgia's and the fighting community, boxing community is quite small in Georgia. Hi everyone. Do you think you were successful in countering the tall girls' punches? I couldn't hear you because some internet issues. I definitely was good. Like what worked against her, for sure, was if I would just throw jab, like just try to throw a long jab, it wouldn't work most of the times, just because it wouldn't reach. When I was catching her jab on my right hand and throwing, like kind of getting in, and here completely locked, so her hand would just stop there, but at the same time I would just push in. That type of jab worked. Definitely crosses worked, because with jabs, obviously I'm older, and my power was like just bigger, so those jabs that landed already created a little hesitation. And I think it's the mentality of the years. I remember myself when I was 17, almost 10 years ago, 8 years ago actually. I was scared. I was like so tense, you know, it was just impossible almost. Now, like I got hit by her, and there was no ego, you know. To me, it's just I try to learn something. I try to get in the shape. I'm happy to be useful for others to learn also, and this is how we do it, you know. So to me, if someone tells me, "Oh, you're not doing good" or something, I'm not gonna listen to that in that moment, because I'm on the ring. I do the stuff. I try to listen to, you know, if a coach gives me a task, I'll try to do that, you know, all that kind of stuff. So unlike, the point is, it's just like age difference, the wisdom that comes with the age and maturity. I didn't mind to get hit in my face. Like as you see, I have a little bit of blue eye. It's covered with the whatever it's called, like whatever you put on your face. But like, I mean, she did great, and she was despite that, she was a little bit upset because she thought she did good, and well, I had to tell her that she did very good, and considering all the. So it was not a fight, it was a sparring. I'm heavier than her, I'm older than her, like I'm definitely less emotional than her. So everything she did great. And there are certain nuances, same as I had certain mistakes that I'm trying to think about and correct them. So that's kind of like, I think we need to learn, all of us, to kind of take it as a normal thing. I grew up with the Mexican style, but always liked how the Soviet style looked. Yeah, Soviet style looks really well. I would say Mexican style is very efficient though. You look like you work out well. Okay, just putting some people on the timeout. Okay. So please don't spam, and please be respectful in the chat. I would highly appreciate it. Okay, but like 1, 2, bum, 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 kind of thing. So that's what I noticed. Like, so like bum, like let's say it's pushed in, bum, 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 bum. Okay. Another thing that worked for sure was, again, throwing punches straightly with a straight posture, aim forward. Usually doesn't work when I work with someone who is taller and with a longer reach. What works is get some of their punches and I kind of step in and I lean on the side while I throw straight punches. So it's kind of like kind of thing, you know? Something like that. Foreman or Cassius? I love both. I love George Foreman, Muhammad Ali. So what I leaded to him was quite extraordinary, actually. Favorite boxer? All time, Mike Tyson. And close second, third, Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins, Manny Pacquiao, and so on. There are many boxers that I really adore. Too bad I'm not a good fighter. No one is unless they practice. That's for sure. But yeah, anyway, so again, another thing that I noticed with me after that sparring was that, you know, sometimes you can try to go heavy, and I would say like a Mexican style is, you know, you grind in, take the punches, you know, and then you just boom, boom, like go heavier, or you can call it brawling, but it is very energy consuming. And especially as a girl, I would say that it's kind of the way how we expend energy versus men, like we get tired faster, technically. That's why there are 2 rounds for women, 2 minutes in the round for women against the 3-minute round for men, though mostly we train for 3 rounds together with boys, so I think that's a good thing. But the point is, there is no point going always like bah, 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 like hard. There's just no point. You're just gonna get tired very fast. What makes sense is slow, snappy things, but completely relaxed, you know? Like right now, I'm relaxed. I'm not trying to kind of put all in there. You know what I mean? So that's the point. What I noticed within sparring, you are just like, try to be as easy, as light as possible. Boom, like, okay, and even when I throw like 1, 2, 3, 4, those are like, I'm trying to just go as easy as possible. Especially in sparring, I don't think you need to be intentional trying to go hard. Also considering that others, especially, as I say, younger boxers, they're a relative minority that are very calculated, and those are the hardest ones to deal with because there is a pure boxing, pure tactics. Apart from that type, you have people rather get impacted by your power, by your pressure, and they just freeze. And I think those are the easiest ones to win over. I'm talking about psychological state. And then you have guys or girls who they get angry and they come on you like, da, da, like that girl from that other day on the sparring. And there you also can use them. First of all, what they do, they expand way too much energy for non-impact. So they throw those punches. If you take them on your guard, if you weave them, if you just, you know, keep the distance, let them do it, let them hunt you, then you go on try to catch the good timing for the counters. They just exhaust themselves, and then you use that to your advantage. Okay, could you teach me some hand stretch for boxing, and also could you show some favorite MMA combo? Well, hand stretch, well, depends what you want to stretch. I can show you here. You stretch your posterior, shoulder, a little bit of back, but from the upper position, you stretch your lats here. So these are good. Obviously, just the forearm stretch, and well, what else? The chest. You can do that on the mirror against the wall or on the floor. But I'll just show you. So you just put your elbow like this against the wall or the corner of the wall, and you just press like this. Here you stretch your chest, which is quite active when you throw punches. Your pec muscle makes multiple contractions. And very often, if boxers don't train physically, they don't do resistance training like for full body, I noticed that they have very relaxed back and very tensed up posture in the front. So that creates like a hyperkyphosis scenario, and just not good generally. I mean, you don't want to get to that point. So those stretches help to prevent it. How to be Mike Tyson? I think there was no one ever. There is no other Tyson ever. No one ever who mastered peekaboo style as much as Tyson did. It's also a very energy consuming style. I think that's probably one of the biggest disadvantages of that style is it's so energy consuming and exhausts you. But Tyson was executing so well, he would achieve like early round knockouts most of the times. Hello, thanks for your hard work in these videos. What's the correct way to punch? Also, if I want to start, what body conditions should I do? I mean, you should do basic resistance training. They're specific, like a boxing style of training that helps some speed, agility, all that kind of stuff. But I would say once a week at least, can do full body training for just a classic fitness training, can go for it. As long as you just do, I would focus on the strengths. This is how I do, at least. Strength type of training, less than 5 repetitions, bigger rest periods between the sets, and the weight has to be quite high. So you need to reach that limit when you can do it less than 5 repetitions, basically. And not necessarily muscle failure like with hypertrophy training. And in the beginning, again, that's kind of one thing that you do on the side. I would recommend to do boxing, and it doesn't matter what conditioning you are, just start from boxing, start doing that. Because if you want to learn boxing, you gotta do boxing. And that was the request for Tyson. I mean, Tyson almost had the frontal stance. Like usually he was not like this, he would like kind of go on peekaboo like that. Okay, the matter shift, all that kind of stuff. Tyson was a pure powerhouse at his prime. What gloves are you using? Those are 12 ounces Reebok. Good gloves. Those are like a real leather, but it doesn't have to be. A good fake leather works well as well. Please guys, don't spam. I would appreciate that. Do you Thai boxing? No, I do boxing specifically. Okay, Madnip, bye-bye. I'm timing you out at this point, but next time it's just gonna be a drop out from the channel. What do you think about Thai boxing, sister? One of the toughest striking martial arts. It's great. We were in Vietnam for quite some time. Hopefully, next time me and my husband go to Southeast Asia, end up in Thailand. We'll end up in Thailand for a while. Definitely would love to train a little bit of Thai boxing, but it's not, as I said, not my primary sport. Once start MMA, then go for it. Go to some good MMA gym, and they usually have breakdown classes, like separate BJJ classes, boxing, kickboxing, mixed like MMA specific classes. And I would recommend you to just try to attend all of them. I noticed you're not even out of breath. That's me. I'm not a boxer to judge, but that's cool considering how strong your punches are. Well, you don't get exhausted the way I do it now. As I said, that's not a training. I just explaining things today. Just take that opportunity to, try to teach you guys something if you want to learn. Usually, I get exhausted. I get tired like everyone else. But as much as it's the matter of training and be able to hold that pressure, that pace, it's also the matter of really distributing your energy properly. There is no point of wasting your energy. On training, specific trainings where you do that, fine. When you're on the ring, on a competitive level, everything matters. Especially the higher the level becomes, the more those little specifications do matter. So I would say it's just getting used to it, getting in a good shape, train your cardio through boxing, through some other type of training, do resistance training, be conditioned quite well in general, but at the same time do psychological work, visualize, learn, try to analyze things and break those down, try to learn how to pace, control your emotions, all that kind of stuff do really matter as well. Are you intentionally using 12-ounce glass? As I said, those are the gifts to my husband, but I picked 12 because that is like an optimal size for both of us. Ideally I would use 10, but 12 work well as well for the training. Do you think that being ginger gives you advantage to combat sports? Maybe. I don't know. Come box in Montreal. We got a great coach and sparring partner. I mean, if I ever end up in Montreal, I definitely will. Mirap will win again. Pretty much see him winning as well against Sanhagen. Okay, good to see you, all of you guys. And suggest for footwork, punch seems easier than footwork. That's a good question. I'll show you some footwork movements and drills in a second. Okay, bye-bye. I'm just gonna hide people or time out people who are just inappropriate. Okay. Okay, when it comes to the footwork, I think we need to get back to the basics. So, well, you gotta establish your stance. If you're right-handed or southpaw, if you're an orthodox stance, your left side goes forward. So your jab, your left hand becomes your jab, and a front hand. Same, the opposite goes for the southpaw. Just letting you know that the YouTube live is flipping the picture. So this is my orthodox stance. This is my southpaw stance. Just letting you know. And from there now, well, first we need to learn how to just, move the body. So you see, if you can see my feet, I'm not just throwing punches like with my feet flat. I'm shifting the balance from one foot to another. You can just do it slower in the beginning, then you can do like 1, 2. It's almost like a dance, like 1, 2, 1, 2. Step in, step out. Okay? Obviously with the punches, aim for the one spot. And then start adding up steps, learning, moving forward and backwards. For example, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Some people do they do 1, 2, 3, 4. But to me, I just, when I back off, I do like a cross foot. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, almost. Then you learn how to do the same on the side. So you would do like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you see, I'm leading whatever side I'm going to the left. I'm starting with the right foot. Then I go to the left foot. When I go to the right, I start with the right foot. Once you learn that, you can start moving a little bit more like diagonally. You can do shuffles. There are some other specific drills that can help you just to build up some coordination. But this is more like a purely boxing type of basic footwork drills. Team Peekaboo. Thanks for your tips. Bye. God bless you and your husband. Thank you. Appreciate it, Emmanuel. So God bless you too as well. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. So as I said, I already showed it, but the main thing that I thought about, that I caught myself in, I would do like something like this. So let's say this back is that my opponent from the last week, and she's coming on me aggressively. So I would do like bam, bam, and then the third one would pass through, okay? And then I would pivot, but I was also exhausted, right? So that's not ideally how I would want that to go, right? That's why I can start using it. So it comes in like 1, 2, 3, pa, pa, pa. So you see, like I just backed off, my hands are up, then I get in while they are pressuring coming at me on the, let's say, full speed, and then I do just the 3 punches, just leaving wherever it lands. Usually it's starting from stomach, landing in the head, or 1 stomach, 2 punches to the head. What martial arts do you training? Boxing, which is technically a combat sport. Can you consider boxing as the martial art? I'm not so sure about that. Are you learning peekaboo? If yes, then welcome. I use some elements of peekaboo, but as I said, it's very energy consuming, very energy consuming. Does this work in real life? Well, that's my point. Since I started sparrings, I realized what works and what doesn't work. I can tell you this, in my case, doesn't really work because I'm a shorter boxer. And like for me, it's like I'm gonna get hit every time. What works for me is this. Like I can still be easy on my feet, but I'm like, okay, bam, light. There's no problem to let your opponent throw first punches. It's okay, as long as it doesn't have an impact. And this way, it doesn't really have an impact. You're like, bam, bam. Okay, you're still moving with your head. Then you catch it like, bam, bam. Then you go jab, like, as I said, not like this, not like this. Bam, like still from the close position. Bam, bam. And again, keep pressuring. So grinding the distance. And then from that moment, as I said, it works like bam. Okay, and bam, 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 bam. I definitely want to master it, train it to the point that I can do that comfortably. But with that specific girl, especially when she was very, very aggressively coming on it, putting too much power, too much energy in each punch. Some of them were landing, but it's okay. Boxing is, some punches land, but then it's a sparring, so you try to learn, okay, how I don't do the same mistake, right? So this is the thing. They come on you, like bam, bam, she's like coming on me, and on the third one, because she's still keeps coming on me, I just weave under literally her armpit, like a clinch. It can be like this, you see? And from there, or from with the other hand, doesn't matter how I start, however is more efficient and appropriate in that situation. You just take that moment of you getting in together, you use that momentum as the bump. Throw the punches, get some points, get some, apply some damage, all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So Obviously, it has to be executed in the right way, correctly. But as long as it works, it works. Okay, I'm gonna drink some water now. Okay, being a taller person, what should one do? Being smaller. Okay, I'll show you what both can do. A taller person, they hunt for, they're like snipers. They can afford standing forward, use their reach, you know, not just like that. There is no point for them to, I believe that as the taller boxer, you still should know how to shorten your range and how to work on the shorter distance, because that's also, let's say you have someone who cuts through your distance and they end up here. If you can kind of back off with your longer reach and switch to the shorter, that's good. I think I noticed that a lot of taller boxers, they don't do that way too much. You know, people focus on things they're good at. They try to make their stronger side stronger, but sometimes they neglect their weaknesses, and those are the weaknesses that can be executed. Obviously, there are some higher level boxers that are just good at all aspects, and you know, they're very strong at, let's say, a long distance, but they still can work on the short. That just makes them more as a difficult opponent, right? Same for the shorter ones. It's more like you cannot increase your reach. You cannot just make your reach longer all of a sudden. But as the longer boxer, on the longer reach, there is the way how to work. Like, for example, it's not only that you have to come there necessarily, just more comfortable. But once you go to this relatively longer reach, you use a little shortcuts with your footwork, you know, kind of the leaning body forward. If you've seen Tyson throwing this straight punch, he doesn't throw this. He was just explaining it in one of his videos. Don't do this. He says, kind of do this. Like, he literally kind of pushes like with, so he kind of lengthens his body, which is a very interesting way to do it. I'm not saying it's easy for everyone or convenient for everyone, but they're like, you know, those inches matter. A lot of great boxers say that boxing is a game of inches, right? So as a taller one, first thing you want to use is your reach. You're like, bam, you're jabbing, a lot of jabbing, right, across, and then jab, cross. You know, you can use your very wide movement, moving around the ring, in, out, both defense and offense, and just try to have that comfortable, longer reach. Just maintain it as much as possible, and basically winning either by points, by knockout, by exhausting your opponent, you know, all that kind of stuff. For the shorter boxers, again, that's trickier. They need to go in a closer range. They need to put them on the ropes, sometimes even brawl them. But that also can be done, like, you can just go like this and like just, you know, kind of try to exhaust yourself, and, you know, don't really have that much impact. A good boxer is still gonna outbox you. They're gonna start sidestep. They're gonna weave and move out of the corner quite easily. But as the shorter boxer, you still can be technical. No, it's still a lot of movement. It's like a cutting angles, for example. You don't just come like this. You're like, bam, bam, bam. All of a sudden, you're already here. And obviously, cutting angles, it doesn't happen in the very beginning usually, unless you are finding a complete amateur. It happens when somewhere in the moment when your opponent is getting tired, ideally more tired than you are. So when they're like kind of a little bit disoriented, their feet are a little bit off, then it's a good time. You're like bam, 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 you know, something like this. So I love those kind of shifts, the mata shift, or well, basically it's generic boxing shift, but I think it was invented by Kastamato, used by Ukrainian boxers quite often, and yeah, it's a great way to cut angles. But in the beginning, you gotta grind your way up through. You kind of get in, let them throw punches, take it safely on your guard, make them feel that they're just doing something for nothing. Obviously, defense is not just, oh, I close my body and my face and that's it, I'm safe. No, it's very specific. You know, you kind of hear, it's a combination of actually seeing which punches are coming and also having a very good position trained and having your arms being used to switching the momentum, but at the same time throwing an immediate punch from you. You're like bam, bam, and sometimes you get it, let's say it's a hook, you get it on your hand and you sleep your hand right after. So it's quite a work to do too. It's not that easy as a lot of people think. What a bunch of claws in the comments were. Some you cannot, well, I can hide them basically, and then, which I already did to some people. But guys, just let's just keep it clean. We're not at school. Sidestep looking like a moving scene. Cool. Yeah. So some of the I think boxing. There's some very good boxing, like a stage boxing scenes in the movies, and they're just very cool to watch. She's a Slavic accent. Yeah, I don't know. I'm Georgian. I have some Slavic roots. English is like a third language, self-taught. American, Australian, and British. Television, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, it's like a Frankenstein of stuff, of the language. What's your preferred stance? I'm orthodox. It seems like southpaw from here, but this is orthodox, and I've always been orthodox. What I try to do, I try to implement some combinations that I noticed. One thing I noticed that works was orthodox, at least. You work with them in the stance, and let's say you like I did that actually in this in the sparring, and it worked. I landed the jab, and then I just switched, and this hand I didn't throw, I just kind of pushed it through, and then I did like a left cross. And it landed because it was something that not that many people do. People switch stances. They do sometimes. They switch and they start working in other stance, but still not that many people switch in the combination. They can be quite. It can take you off the guard. So it's something like bam, like bam, bam. So all of a sudden, it's not my jab anymore. It's my cross, and it lets me gives me the gap to get in. And as I said, that worked 2 or 3 times when I did it efficiently, when I executed it well. And I think it's something that worth playing with. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be necessarily perfect stance. I mean, I definitely feel my left cross very well because of it developed into a jab. You know, I've been, as any boxer, you train a lot on your front hand, your jabs, all that kind of stuff. My right jab is very unnatural, like it feels very odd, so I would say that's the only thing that I really need to get used to. But this feels very organic, and I try to execute it. So it's like, bam, and I can just do that right while I'm here, while it's still, you know, But even when I land some punches, and all of a sudden it becomes a cross, a left cross. So why not? I mean, there are certain things you definitely should experiment with, as long as it works, as long as it complies with the boxing rules. I think there is nothing wrong with it. Remember River Dream? Yes, I remember you. I was pro trainer for 35 plus years. I was here before, yes, and last time I told you that. Feel free to give us your experience, some advices here in the chat. Fight record. I have, I was in amateur boxing before, so I have less than 5 fights. It's not that much for amateur at all. Then I retired early. Then I just kept training on and off. I never quite quit. I worked quite a lot on technique. Even if I wouldn't do a lot of physical training, I would train a lot of like technique, footwork, that kind of stuff. And a few months ago, I decided to, why not? Let's get to the pro. I mean, I have YouTube. A lot of people encourage me to, they would want to see me fighting. And I just said for myself that, why not? I can just get to the point when I'm ready, like kind of always be ready. I don't agree with this idea that you for camp and then you just stop training at all and gain like 10, 15, 20 kgs and then you do it over. That's not good for your body, for longevity. So I do believe that it's good to have a certain standard, like a baseline, which is, basically being in a good shape, in a solid, decent shape. And have a sparring experience, which I already added up and I'm trying to have more of it. And then do like a preparational couple months for an actual fight. Well, that one is the matter of organizing it, finding an opponent, talk to the promoters. That I have a couple friends that are actually doing that. So I will definitely keep you posted. Whenever it's the actual fight, I'll let you know, and you will be able to see that on my YouTube. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. I found video educational. Continue to do these videos if you like it. Don't get disheartened by some comment. They don't matter. Walterium, thank you very much, and trust me, I'm okay with that. I have quite a good sense of humor. I have nothing against joking and stuff, and when it comes to an actual disrespect and some nonsense, I just try to keep the chat clean, not only for myself, but for the people in the chat to feel comfortable. And yeah, we're trying, I was saying that before, me and my husband are trying to build a good community. We travel quite a lot around the world, trying to keep the content interesting, educational, and valuable. And that's it. Whoever wants to see something else, there are so many things out there in the net. Okay. I usually give some chances to people too, so just, okay, sometimes people start trolling and they just realize that the chat is not it's like respectful and relatively clean, and I don't react, and they stop and actually engaged and ask real questions. But then sometimes just people just go on and on and on, and I just time them out. Okay, another smart guy. How's your breathing since your trip? Has it gotten better for you? Yeah, it definitely got better. I already, I had quite a pressure sparrings with someone that is my size, my height, or a little bit taller and closer to my weight class. And punching hard and all, giving me real good pressure. And this time I can hold like 3, 5, 4, even 6 rounds at this point, 3 minutes, which is good improvement. But also you know, when you drop in this mindset of distributing your energy correctly. Sometimes when you train with the guys that are bigger, for example, and they tell you punch, punch, you kind of just push yourself, and it's almost like a physical and a cardio training and just endurance and stamina training. When you do an actual sparring, when you know it should be more calculated, you try to read them, they try to read you. It becomes about actually distributing your energy correctly, and learn how to not to waste your energy way too much on unnecessary stuff, and read what your opponent is trying to do. Sometimes they just get all the punches on their hands, and you waste too much energy, and in reality you don't leave any damage. Actually, you're damaging yourself, your endurance at this point. So I experience that now, and I think my pacing is getting better too. Easy, I just use the mouse guard, and because it's shaped in the boiled water, it becomes soft, you put it on, it just fits your mouse, and that's it. Can show footwork. Yes, I'll do it. I'll just scroll up in the chat first. Okay, quick shadow boxing, footwork, that's what people requested, so we'll do that. Okay, so this is my position. So, as you see, moving a little bit around. When I do shadow boxing, I don't like doing only this, like forward, backwards. I used to struggle quite a lot around moving like on the angles, shifts. Now I'm doing that quite a lot just to keep getting better at it. You know, I do believe that starting from shadow boxing, back work, pad work, you just gotta focus on things that you actually really struggle with. Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, Mary and Jane, I'll time you out. So go be negative somewhere else, bye-bye. Okay. Boxer stance is constantly bent back, which is harmful to the spine. Do you stretch your back? Well, it depends. Like your spine has a natural curves. You have a neck and lumbar lordosis, and you have chest. Chest and lumbar kyphosis, and neck and like a lower back section lordosis, something like that. So it's like S-shaped, right? What you do, I don't really bend my spine too much here, actually. What I do is I just keep my shoulders up. So when they say it affects posture, it's more about, obviously, if your pec muscles become too tight and you become like this, that's not good, right? That's why you need an overall resistance training for your full body, so you're toned up with your full body. And yeah, so basically when it comes to the lower back, as I said, you're also not standing like this. This is the bad stance for the and it creates hyperlordosis. It's very common in dancers, I think, but in the boxers it's actually a little bit opposite, because you actually contract your abs here. So I never ever hurt my spine through the boxing. Like I think my spine is the most comfortable. It can affect your lumbar areas, also because of your leg movement. Since I'm an orthodox and I've been for years because I've been pushing on my back leg, I have like a chronic tension on my entire right side of my body. So for that, I do specific stretchings, I do my fascial release, I do some massage therapy. There are certain manipulations that you can do with that. So yeah, that's the answer. Okay, place foot into the tire and work on pivot from a short distance, so which will allow short pivot and inside game. Yeah, that's a good drill. It's been a while since I done it. Here, I know we don't have tires, but definitely gonna do it whenever I think in the other gym they have it. So guys, I'm gonna read it one more time out loud. That's a very good drill. Place foot into tire and work on a pivot from short distance, which will allow short pivot and inside game. Yes. Again, inside game is not you're just standing like this. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do footwork wise and help yourself to secure that inner position as well. Okay, I'll keep scrolling up, guys. Head movement better than the footwork? I guess combination. I mean, it's like footwork is essential, I would say. The better you move on your feet, the better you can execute on the ring. When it comes to the head movement, well, I do believe that my head movement is not that great. I think my footwork is better than my head movement. But also what I like to do, I just compensate it. I like taking punches on my hands. I do pad work. I hold pads for bigger guys, for smaller people, like for everyone. So that's why I like catching it on my hands. And there is one of the options. But ideally, you want to work on all of it. What is the training? My bell is getting big. Well, you gotta watch your calories. The training is just explaining some boxing basics, and whatever people are asking, I'm trying to show what I can. Why boxing as opposed to karate, wrestling, or judo? I mean, boxing is a fist fighting, just the upper body, working in the actual combat, and well, it has because it's very concentrated on the very limited arsenal. That's why it's so diversified. When it comes to the karate, wrestling, or judo, where karate is you use your lower body, your legs, and there's karate also has the other side, which is like a kata, so certain disciplines. And belt acquiring events. Wrestling is a ground game and includes some grappling. And judo is basically throws and some of the ground game too. Respect to you, thank you. Respect to you two guys as well. Step with the jab or twist lead foot with your jab. I mean, it depends. Look, let me show you this way. Okay, so it's about the distance. So if I'm already here, I'm just twisting it here. Let me see. Boom, 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 boom. Something like that, right? And from the further distance, I can just kind of pivot in, like a shuttle in, and just let that jab come back. So that works well from, like when you do like a catch boxing, when you try to just catch 1, 2, it usually happens in the earlier rounds. And I think that's like you both has its own place. Should an MMA guy with a skinny and little fat, bulk, or cut? Well, it depends what weight class you want to be. It's really, really up to you. Where you're going to be more efficient, what is the competition, etc. Becky Lynch. Of course, someone had to say that. Are you an amateur boxer? I used to be an amateur boxer. Now I want to do some pro debut. There is nothing scheduled yet, but I'm just showing my journey, what I do, how I do it, what are the things I'm focusing on to get to that point. Plus, by using top of the tire for the shuffle during your pivot or working parry motion, so will be more natural to remove punches. Yeah, that is a very good point. Thank you, Reverend Dream. Are you left-handed? No, I'm orthodox. It's just the camera is flipping it. Okay, so this guy, I'm just gonna thank you guys for pointing out. I'm just gonna time out people who are basically fooling around. Is the first live since the tour of Georgia, City, Churches, River? I mean, no, I think I live streamed the center. I live streamed some of the old center. I live streamed something here, definitely from the gym. So no, I did some live streams. I just haven't done it that consistently as in Vietnam, but I still try to keep it up. I love the combo overhand uppercut to the body and overhand. Okay, well, let's try this one. Okay, so we have overhand, uppercut to the body, and overhand again. Okay. So we have like overhand, uppercut, overhead. Okay. So please show the jab while changing orthodox to southpaw. Well, it depends what you're asking. At least how I would do that. I would already throw an orthodox jab, so jab, and then while I'm pulling that hand, I can just kind of palm, throw another one, but it doesn't have to be hard, and then I would go cross. So it's like jab. Something like this. Something like that. Hi Colombia, hi everyone. Please don't spam, guys. I try to read through all of it. Body. Right, so try a jab, angle right. Well, angle right, I'm not sure what you mean. A cross, hook, uppercut, overhead, left hook body, and right straight, and roll. Well, so it's like a jab, let's say, palm, hook, and straight again, and then roll. So it's something like pump, 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 pump. Was I think uppercut in the stomach. Okay, tried that one. Ilya definitely has a great box in UFC. Jackson says, I'm making a pro debut next month, and can't lie, I'm pretty nervous. Just wondering if you got any advice for me. I mean, first of all, congratulations. And it's okay to be nervous in the beginning, especially if it's your debut. I hope you are well prepared, and I hope you did some sparrings. It's always different. The fight is, it always drops you in a fight and flight response, and takes some experience to get to the point that you actually feel adapted and comfortable and control the situation. But also, usually what happens, you step in, and then it starts, and you do it, you know? So the best thing you can do is adapt to the situation as much as possible and just focus on the fight itself. And I'm almost certain that the nerve's not gonna affect you. And it's the first fight, so whatever happens, don't worry. Try to learn from it. Whatever happens, win or lose, just see what you do good, where you make mistakes, and try to learn from it. So ideally, have a footage, ask someone to record the fight, so you would be able to learn, analyze. Because even if you win, you still want to do it. So the best of luck to you, and I hope that's going to be your first and not the last win. Where are you from? I'm from Georgia. How hard is it to find an opponent? I think it's hard, especially for men. For women, also boxing is quite developed pretty much everywhere. You can find one opponent for sure. It's just a matter of who. I do believe that first few fights should be on the same level, same experience, something like that. Obviously, weight class, all that kind of stuff. Because first fights are really important for the confidence as well. If you just have 3-4 losses in the very beginning in a row, it's going to kill your confidence, your motivation, your ability to control the fight on the ring. So I do believe that it's better to kind of upgrade on the level gradually. But then from the certain point, of course, you need to, cherry picking is not generally a good idea. It's better to, just keep trying to getting better and upgrading your level, and essentially building up a solid record. And like when there are some people who go for like 100% for undisputed, I mean, if you're the greatest out of the great, cool. I mean, if you're facing a matching opponent and you still win, that's super. But trying to be undefeated by cherry picking your opponents when you're already supposed to be at the level that you're a good, strong boxer, I don't think so. It's better to lose and learn something out of it and come back better than just cherry pick your opponents. You know what I mean? Usyk versus Muhammad Ali, who win? What do you think? I mean, boxing styles different. Like they evolved. Like Ali's era was less tied up, but it was way more dynamic. Yeah, it was way more dynamic, and Ali was phenomenal. Even today's standards, I think he was phenomenal. Usyk is way more a generation of calculated boxer. It's more of a chess game. Like every punch is, every combination, everything is like a part of a chess combination or something like that. You know what I mean? So, like, it's hard to say. I would go with either way. You know what I mean? Depends how it could go. Ali, as I said, at that generation, they were such high, like, intensity, pressure. They would fight 15 rounds, and that was a great era. So, yeah, I mean, whoever says that easily that Usyk gonna beat Ali easy, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. Okay. And nothing about boxing, but I shadow box planking just to get precise, then watch YouTube when so your life. That's great. heavy bag more important than sparring? Sparring is the most important technical. It doesn't have to be heavy sparrings all the time, but the sparring, technical sparrings, a combination work with the opponent, the feel of the actual person standing in front of you, throwing punches at you, you throwing back, taking those punches, all that kind of stuff is the essence of boxing. Like, you cannot learn how to high jump if you don't high jump, essentially, right? If you do like a long jumps, drop jumps, some other jumps, yes, you can help it, but you need to do something that is as close as the movement or the action itself. Same for boxing. Boxing is basically boxing on the ring, right? So sparring is the closest thing that replicates it. Greeting to Georgia from Lithuania. Hi, Lithuania. Manny Pacquiao is a great boxer. Heavy bag is for conditioning, sparring is for real fight, I think so. Yeah, that's a good point. Heavy bag is not only for conditioning, it can be, I do believe you can work on technique, learning how to throw, generate a real solid punch on the heavy bag. So there are definitely many ways you can use a heavy bag. Jake Paul and Tank, I mean, this is something that is such a joke. I mean, yeah, just don't want to talk about it. It's probably one of the staged fights. I love Tank Davis, one of the phenomenal boxers nowadays, but like, I mean, that's a moneymaker. Everyone like the stream and subscribe to this channel. Umberto, thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. Someone is not an Oscar de la Hoya fan. Well, absolutely. I mean, Oscar was great. What can you say? Well, also, one of the closest fights with Floyd Mayweather could go to Oscar, in my opinion. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. Mixed martial arts and get yourself a pistol revolver for self-defense. Mixed martial arts are for soul. It's good for training, good for confidence, physicality, community. For self-defense, I definitely agree. Rifle, a gun is the best. Do you know Carter from Peekaboo Boxing Academy, New York? No, I'm not familiar. How is your my favorite woman boxer that also looks shooting a rifle? Oh, okay. Oh, well, I believe I thought you were talking about some of the elite female boxers at this point. I mean, she's not a boxer, but MMA fight. Valentina Shevchenko. I think Joe Rogan was saying she's like a closest real life Black Widow character. She shoots. She flies the planes. She fights. She's awesome. Prime Manny versus 45-year-old Floyd. Who is your pick? I mean, I love Manny Pacquiao, but Floyd has very high boxing IQ, and when we mention boxing IQ, meaning that the way how they adapt to the fight, adapt their style, extremely superior defensive style by Mayweather. It's hard to say. As much as Floyd being very strategic with who and when he's fighting after the pretty boy era, I still wouldn't discredit him. But prime Pacquiao, I think, would have a chance. Jay Optaya and Gervonta Davis are my two favorite boxers. Fair enough. What do you think, Bivol versus Better BF? I don't know. I mean, they have 1-1 each. I would go for Bivol. Better be Reef is also great. He's like very sharp, like short, very sharp punches. But if people just boxes on the distance and that's what he did on the second fight, I think it should be fine. Well, what made you choose boxing over kickboxing or Muay Thai? I don't know. I just like boxing, and I had an opportunity to try kickboxing in Georgia. Muay Thai was not very common at that point, but I somehow just like boxing more. Okay, keep scrolling out, guys. Chuck Norris is a badass, but you know who is a more badass? Don Fry. They are all great, especially if you're not dodging. Do you know Conor Benn? No. Do you ever have an injury in your career? If so, how did you overcome and still box? No major injuries. However, I have a narrow sight. I'm narrow-sighted. I have like a -5 on both eyes, and I'm currently boxing and training with my contact lenses. So it's not prohibited. I can use them. It just, the risk is that it just drops out sometimes. Sometimes it slips out during the sparring or fight, but it's not prohibited. And well, yeah, it is what it is. I'm looking forward to get the surgery in the near future, like laser surgery. Since my eyes are in other way, they're healthy. My pressure, my eye pressure, like no glaucomas, nothing, no risks for anything else, just the narrow, like genetical narrow sightedness. So, yeah, that's the only thing. Whoever is saying she's beautiful, you are Sims, but not liars. I'm not gonna call people who compliment me in any, obviously, respectful shape or form. Sims, just would be disrespectful. But it was a funny one. I'm Orthodox. Привет, mom. My mom is in the chat. Hi, mom. Keep scrolling up, guys. Yeah, focus mainly on boxing, guys. Yes. You talk too much, train a little. As I said from the beginning, it's not my training day. I'm just showing some stuff. If you want me to show you a certain combination, just give it to me. Tell me, and I'll do it. What's your favorite combination? You see, the easy question. I can show that one. Let's see. Like there are a few. I like simple combinations. So, for example, it's like 1, 2, sleep right on the side, and then go forwards. It's like, okay, again. And I definitely like shifts, especially lately. Let me show you. So, like 1, 2, 3, bum, bum, something like that. So I need to get closer. It's like bum, 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 bum. Something like this. Yeah, those are one of the favorite combos at this point. Mike Tyson Jack Paul fight was rigged. What do you think? What was it? I think it was Mike the real winner, or am I delusional? It was a real about money. No, you're not delusional. That's a clear and obvious thing. There were even shortcuts where Tyson kind of was losing it. He was literally landing a knockout punch on Paul, and he was like completely open, but he would just stop it right in the middle. Yeah, that was just a money fight for Tyson. I was happy to see Tyson when I saw his training and pad work, his speed. How old is he? Like 60 years old now? Or 50 something, like 58, 59. So it was very, as one of my favorite boxers of all time, I was happy to see him healthy and strong and still, having it. And that was a money fight, yeah. Do you know Christian Light? No, I don't know Christian Light. Hi to mom of Red Hats. Mom, тебе привет передают. 6:38 p.m. here. Where? It's Philippines, okay. Want to sleep was awesome. That's a working combo. As long as you do it correctly, the main point is you want to, that sleep has to be correct. Like it has to really get in. Once you learn that, then you go, you go right, but it's good to finish with a hook. So as long as you come back with a cross, then you can add up some more punches. Hard work. Okay. Please, guys, don't spam. In one clip, I saw Bas Rutten, an MMA fighter. I know Bas Rutten. He's a legend, great guy. Say that keeping our hands near our chin is useless, as a powerful punch kick would still have the force through our hands to the chin. What is your take? Well, Bas Rutten was an MMA fighter, and he was the one who used this fight. Like, was it Pride? No, or Strike Force. Anyways, it's like I don't remember exactly which organization he fought, but like that was the wild era, like a pioneers of mixed martial arts, that kind of stuff, before all of that got unified in the UFC. And again, boxing, it makes sense. In MMA, I'm not going to disagree. It's slightly different and everyone has their own opinion. In boxing, what you do, you're not doing like what I at least don't do. It's not just being like this and getting, hit constantly. Yes, sometimes when you're in close distance, you kind of need to shell yourself like a turtle, shell yourself. But usually it's just like bam, catching. So it's like, in my case, at least the way I do it, maybe that's a matter of being a lightweight, maybe it's a female boxing, I don't know, but it works for me to catch those fights, catch those punches, kind of block them. And it takes a very small movement. You don't have to do this. You do just like literally contract your hand in the moment of the landing of punch. So I cannot tell that it really is like my hands are all the time here. It's just about using your hands as the guard. So you can, use them as basically protecting yourself from the punches. And in boxing, again, it's you do that, but you also try to do weaves. So you do a lot of things. It's a combination of the movement and the defense. You should check UTMA, Lithuanian Martial Arts Organization. It's getting very big. I will. Actually, I'm not sure. Maybe there's a chance my Georgian friend fought there. I just don't remember if it was Lithuania or Latvia. I'm trying to remember. If it was Lithuania, maybe it was the organization he fought in. Are you more boxer, brawler? Which do you prefer? I prefer boxing, but I think you should be able to brawl. There is nothing wrong with brawling. It's a part of boxing. It can be part of the strategy, but definitely I would go for a boxer. At least that's what I'm trying to be. Tapuria double champ was a boxing stance in UFC. I mean, it's a great MMA boxing that he showed us. Thank you so much for the input. It really helps as a beginner myself. I appreciate it. Thank you. Where you from? I'm from Georgia. I subscribe greatly. Thanks, I appreciate it. Where you from? As I said, I'm from Georgia, Tbilisi. Who's your favorite boxer? I would say it many times, I'll say it more. Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins, like those three. Manny Pacquiao. And the list goes on and on and on, but those are like the top. But okay, guys, now I actually have to wrap it up. I have some business to attend, and well, it was good to be back, and I was glad to be able to bring some value if that video or this live stream was helpful for you. I'm very glad to hear that. Vladimir Klitschko, or Klitschko brothers. I mean, definitely great boxers. It's just, if we talk about my personal favorites, there's so many great boxers out there. It's like, oh, there is like if we talk like a Four King era, for example, those are kind of separate as well. I mean, especially like Sugar Ray Leonard and I mean, all of them were great, but like he's one of my favorite out of those four. So it's like there's so many. Klitschko brothers are just one of those boxers. Meet you. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, thank you very much. You have a great day, and I see you in the next live stream. Bye-bye.